Many years ago, three guys from Toronto, Canada started a rock band. They became really famous. This time, I'm not talking about Rush. Thanks for being here. This is the Loud Boy Experience, and let's go. So before I made this video, I was cleaning up this room, which is what we call the office here in the house, but it's a room in which I do all my video production. And I'm cleaning it up, and I found some really cool stuff along the way. One of which is a Columbia House book from 1992. And if we look close enough here, you can see that there's chronicles and signals and moving pictures and permanent waves, all the way down to Presto. And also, there might be a Roll of the Bones in here as well. But this was really cool. The fact that I had this ancient book, and look, of course, as a timestamp for when we knew this was, you can see that there's Nirvana here on the cover. But the fact, right here in the middle of this Columbia House book, is an entire section on Rush. Obviously, this is why I saved this book. So that was really cool. The band I was talking about is Triumph. Triumph from Toronto, Canada. And one of our friends here, Matt, sent me one of their albums. Matt, thank you, dude. I'm really happy to learn more about bands of which I didn't really know about. And this is the album that he sent me. It is a collection of classics from Triumph. It's a double album. This is on vinyl. And side A of vinyl 1 is Tears in the Rain, and then Lay It on the Line, I Live for the Weekend, Magic Power, and then side B is Someone Out There, Spellbound, A World of Fantasy, Follow Your Heart. Album 2, vinyl 2, is Fight the Good Fight, Rock and Roll Machine, Hold On, and then the final side, the fourth side of this double album, Never Surrender Live, and Blinding Light Show / Moonchild. Also a live track. Matt, thank you, dude. Thank you for this double vinyl. Matt sent a note with this, and man, closer to my heart he could not be. I love what he wrote here, and you're about to learn why. He wrote, "Hello, Eric. Although this is brand new, and it's unplayed, this album is unplayed, and I purchased it a few months back. I didn't bother to return it." So basically, he's saying that the top is damaged. I honestly cannot see any damage to this vinyl, to the case, or he's saying that, so basically he didn't return it. He said the top was damaged, and what this does is, and he goes on to say that it gives him an excuse to buy a replacement. On the back, see, that's the cursive note that I was kind of paraphrasing for you. On the back he said, "P.S. I hope you can read my cursive. My print is usually better too, but I wrote this quickly. PPS." I love it. The album was not ordered through Acoustic Sounds. Matt has told me a lot about acoustic sounds, and I want to tell you guys about that. A website, a company through which you can buy vinyl and a lot of really cool stuff. So Matt highly recommends Acoustic Sounds. And however, this was not purchased through them, this Triumph album. I then went on a quest. A journey to learn more about Triumph. Honestly, I didn't know much about them. And I learned that there's Rick Emmett, Mike Levine, and Gil Moore. Gil Moore is the drummer, and he actually sings as well as drums, which is kind of cool. You know that Portnoy can do that kind of thing. But Rick Emmett is, I believe that Mike and Gil started, by the way, all the information I have came from a YouTube documentary, and Matt shared that link with me. This documentary is in 4:3. It's from I believe the late 90s, and it's a really old kind of archive footage because of that, right? It's close to 30 years old. And in that, of course, eventually Triumph did break up. Rick was the third person to come to the band. Sound familiar? Where they had two core people, and then a third person joined them. And then Rick eventually was the guy that left the trio of Triumph. So I learned a lot about Triumph, and Matt, I'm so grateful for this really cool present. I would never have purchased this on my own. I really knew nothing about Triumph. And honestly, I'm such a, what's the best word? I'm not even sure what the word is. I'm very particular with what I like and what I listen to. Very particular. I like certain bands, certain music, and I stick to them. I wait for their new releases, and I don't expand that bubble very much. I really don't. And so, therefore, this was an expansion of that, where I learned a lot more about a band. And also, blowing my mind is the fact that Triumph is also from Toronto, Canada. I found that really kind of cool. And given that Rush is from Toronto. So, Matt, thank you very much for this classics, all right? Triumph album, this double vinyl. I appreciate it, buddy. The gift means as much as the album does. That you shared this with me, that you sent this directly to me. It means so much. And so many of you mean so much. Kyle. And also Neil. Neil, thank you, with 2 L's. Getting to know you, brother, having your support here and on Rumble means the world to me. And of course, there's Tim and there's Alan and there's Michael. There's many of you that I've grown really close to. And your friendship and support means so much to me. Forgive me if I'm not mentioning all of you. I can't. I don't have the memory banks for it, the capacity in my RAM, that quick access memory, and it's not stored in the long. Man, I got to stop doing analogies to computers. But anyway, Matt, thank you so much for this Triumph album. It means a lot to me. Eventually, I will play it. But the fact that I watched the documentary, I learned about this band I knew nothing about before, and learned about their music, and thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it, buddy. In one of our recent Rush family meetings, our live shows, Matt also suggested that I get a particular Blu-ray player because I said that I was unable to play my special edition Snakes and Arrows, which is basically a multi-format CD. And on it, though, are video files. There's a great documentary on here called The Game of Snakes and Arrows. I have not seen it in years. I really want to watch it. So Matt said, hey, get a particular Blu-ray player. And I did. Matt, I actually ordered this sucker. Yes, I got this Sony. Okay. It is not a full 4K HDR Blu-ray player. However, it can up-res, right? It has the software codecs and the ability to take regular high definition and then up-res that to 4K. So the point is, I wrote it down during our Rush family meeting, during the live show. I did order this player. I have it right here. Here's the bummer, that when I use this player to then attempt to play my Snakes and Arrows special, it will play it. I can play back the album. However, I still am unable to access the documentary, The Game of Snakes and Arrows. I can't access it. And that was a big bummer. I do have a spare Blu-ray player, if anyone needs one. Of course, it's brand new, but it would not play that part of the disc. These multimedia discs are written in layers, okay? And depending on the player, but also the software that decodes the data coming from the disc. So these are built-in layers, in that these lasers can access like a certain layer for audio files, another layer for data files, and so on. And that's how they're encoded. However, this player can see the audio files. Great. It works. I can pull up a menu so I can then choose whatever song from Snakes and Arrows I want to listen to. And by the way, this sucker is encoded in 5.1. So if you ever wanted to listen to a 5.1 version, a mix of Snakes and Arrows, this is the bad boy to do it. However, the actual video files, which a lot of times with DVDs at least, it's a video TS file. That's just how they encode it, and they pack it up with that wrapper. And then, as in a candy wrapper, not a wrapper. And then basically the player has the ability to then play back that data file, read it, and then play back the audio and video, a video file. Anyway, I was kind of bummed out. Matt, thank you for the recommendation. Yes, I do have a spare Blu-ray player now. So I gave it a try, Matt. I wanted to let you know that. And Matt, I really appreciate the fact that you are a diehard nerd like I am. You obviously have an affinity for vinyl and the sound that they bring us, for physical media. You've told me so in our corresponding, our back and forths. But also, you have pointed out hardware to then play back the software that we have, the physical media. So, man, that level of being a nerd or a geek, oh, so close to my heart. Closer to my heart, man. I appreciate you, Matt. So guys, if you do want to at least play back the 5.1 version of this, yeah, most Blu-ray players will do it, but this particular Blu-ray player will not play back the video. So I was a little bit bummed out about that, but I digress. Hey, Matt, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to tell you that I have a video coming up, which is a part B, a second book, if you will, to the Rush R50 unboxing. I've got some really cool stuff to show you, to share with you, and it's going to be really great. So guys, thanks for sticking with the Loudboy Experience. I hope you have a really good night.